evening. Thank you all for joining. My name is Ionescu and I'm representing Inobyte as sales manager. Inobyte is a company of web development that's been around the market since 2006, and we're specialized in developing Magento websites. First of all, before we jump into the presentation itself, I want to do a little bit of warm-up. And I would like to take a second or two to ask you, what does this sign represent for you? Any ideas what this might be? Please? Close, but no. Maybe some hints. So if you thought about the traffic sign turned upside down, well, no, that was not the case. If you think about a tunnel and the light at the end of the tunnel, well, not really. What is really represented to this presentation is the ground level of the agenda. Now, the agenda I thought about today will be structured into three segments. One, theory, and I want to talk to you about what we call in Inobyte GS web roots. The second part is practice, and I want to talk to you about two case studies that we learned and that we've done for our partners. And the third component is the satisfaction. And satisfaction I'll be able to measure only through the number of questions and emails that I will receive at the end of the presentation, live or by email, of course. So without any further ado, let's start with what do I mean, what do we mean by GS web root? Well, before doing that, I would like to define the universe of your business. Now, the universe of your business, we thought about it by being the sum of components, starting from the team, starting from coding, the social community, and A/B testing, all departments, all activities in your business. Now, by grouping these elements together, we define groups: product group, the traffic group, and the sales group. Now, I'm sure you've seen this picture before, and we can interpret what this picture means. For example, if you have traffic and you have a product but low sales, then it means that you have freebies or you have poor marketing. The same goes with the fact that if you have a product and you have good sales but no traffic, you are selling a high-end product but you have seasonal sales. On the other hand, if you have traffic and sales but you don't have a product, it's either you're an affiliate or you're a scam. Now, I'm sure that most of you want to have your business grouped around the circle in this point at the very end, at the very center of the image. We call this spot GS. GS comes from great success, and in our vision, of course, and we encourage you to see this point by using the following steps. Connectivity. Connectivity meaning from this universe of items that you see on the blackboard, select three: user experience, for example, client analysis, and A/B testing, and then try to connect these dots to all the others in the universe of your business. And I'm going to give a short example. So let's take client analysis. When you understand the client's needs, when you do a split of the traffic of the visitors, you then can go to them targeting and focus rate. For example, if you know that your traffic is mostly meant from California, then you will be addressing them in a certain way, with a certain format, in a certain timeline, certain time frame. So GS comes from great success. Web comes from the internet, because this is where we're developing applications in the World Wide Web. Now, three is an indicator for the three steps that we believe in. So step number one would be to, first of all, analyze the traffic, analyze the client, understand their needs. Step two, have in place the mechanism to sustain your sales, to make sure that whenever you convince somebody to purchase, then offer them the platform where they can purchase. And I want to take a second to think about what happened in 2011 with Black Friday, Cyber Monday, when everybody wanted to buy all of a sudden, but then they went to a website, but the website was down, so they moved their sales to other websites. Now, the manufacturer was happy because there was sales that day, but website A was not so happy because losing traffic to a competitor was a missed opportunity. website and GS Web 3 or GS Web root means that we like to encourage you to optimize that and then optimize some more, because no matter how perfect the solution is today, tomorrow the solution might be deprecated and it might be improved. Let's consider the best website, let's say in 2009, and let's take the same website and see what would happen to it if it was deployed today. And just think about the evolution of browsers. How was the website seen in Internet 7, in Explorer 7 in 2009, and how it is seen now in 2012. As a conclusion for this GS root theory, getting the customers is getting to be more and more expensive. Customers are more and more picky. The competition is very, very aggressive by each day. So what you need to do with what this design and team is doing well is try to have all the mechanisms working together so that you develop a giant matrix that will drive yourself and develop the business ahead. Now, a bit of practice. Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Facebook, said, if I had to get social commerce in the next to blow up, well, fantastic, but he said that in 2010. And then after that, all the companies in the market said, okay, fantastic, let's go and monetize on this new brand sales channel. So what happened, we had companies like the Defender of Kaspersky, and you all know who I'm talking about, that launched to have the first Facebook store in Romania. Actually, Kaspersky did a PR announcing that they are the first major player in Romania to have a Facebook store. Now, after the rush of the Facebook store deployment, they started wanting to get money, but money wasn't there, they only got paid. So the next reaction was, everybody was sad, because after investing so much effort, so much marketing, so much everything, there were no results. Everybody was sad, and I know I was talking to people, and they said, oh, Facebook is not so good, whatever. So, like in Lord of the Rings, they say, when all hope has faded, the guys from Gartner made a research on 4,000 internet users in 10 different markets, and they realized that I, as a shopper, am more inclined to buy if somebody in my trust group, in my trust circle, has already bought that product or bought from that company. And that made the marketeers from the companies in the previous slide think, okay, how we can monetize Facebook still. So instead of having Facebook as a direct sales channel, they have Facebook as an indirect sales channel. Facebook is a place to spread the word, to create a buzz, to attract traffic, and then basically all in all to make a relationship with your clients. Another example would be with a shopper, with a software producer in Russia called Movavi. They were thinking how they can increase the traffic without having to do sales. And they had this idea of, okay, let's put a coupon on Facebook. Okay, that's not out of the box, that's not something outstanding, but what they did is, for each purchase, they asked the shopper if they could put a statement on their timeline, and the statement would contain a discount. Now, the discount could have been used by anybody, the shopper, the friend of the shopper, whomever, as long as they are in a time frame interval. Now, this is how the message looks on my timeline. I bought Movavi products, and I received a coupon right here. After several days, I got some people that were resharing my information on their timeline, and not only resharing, but they also clicked on like. Now, the outcome of my efforts to get a discount was 3 reshares and 4 likes for Movavi. Now, maybe this is not much for one client, but the guys from Movavi actually measured the social buzz happened at the end of the social campaign, and you can see the results, 5% increase compared with the previous numbers before the campaign. I'm not sure if this is something good or is it something bad. Movavi says yes, and they are going to see it again when they will need extra traffic. Now, moving to optimization of conversion rate. Because before this, we discussed about how we can get the traffic, how we can get people to visit and to buy our products. But now let's think about, okay, we reach the people, we establish a connection with those people, and they are right here. And they are right here on our website, on our landing page. Now, I'm sure you know the more steps between landing page and buying, the less the conversion rate is and the higher the attendance. This is not rocket science. Also, we found out that from the entry point to the delivery point in a sales process, there is a different split between visitors on desktops versus mobiles, for example. So, just going to give you out of my mind numbers. So if on the index page there were 80% desktop user and 20% mobile users, on the thank you page or on the success page, which is the final page of a shopping process, there were like 99% desktop and 1% mobile in the happiest scenarios. So what we did, we said, oh, why is that happening? And we realized that we really need to push mobile websites to our customers that we have in the portfolio. We grabbed these numbers and we went to one of our clients in the portfolio whose name I cannot mention right now because we're in the middle of a case study. And if you want to see more details about this case study, I invite you to InnoByte's website in a couple of weeks so you can see this case study published. So the client has these numbers, conversions from index to cart to billing to success, and overall conversion rate of 0.02%. I was terrified. Oh my God, it's so low. I was talking to the client, we did some analysis. Okay, I think that if we improve this and that and this and that in the shopping process, we might see some bigger numbers. But the client said yes, and then we did the deployment, and we measured the results at the end, or in 2 months after the deployment. And these are the results. It may not seem too much, but let's take a look at the delta. And the delta shows that the final result represented an increase of conversion rate overall by more than 360%. In plainer Romanian English, if the guys before the implementation had 10 buyers from mobile, now they have 35. How does this translate to numbers? So they win 25 new buyers, multiply with average order value. There you go with the extra revenue generated by this implementation alone. Now, the only question I have on this slide is, do you know any sales manager that would not be happy with the fact that hitting the target is easier? Sure.
What was the cost or the ROI of this thing? You have this increasing in conversion rate, which is wow, it's okay. But in terms of total revenue, in this period, short period probably, and the cost of implementing this kind of thing, the consultancy, the programming staff, and what was the cost and what is the ROI for this thing?
Well, the cost was, there was a cost, of course, for development, and as you said, of consultancy. The outcome was an increase in volumes and an increase in brand awareness because, as we were showing in the case study, this client now has happier mobile shoppers. Now, I cannot give you the exact numbers right now, but there were costs, of course. What's important was that the client realized that it was in sale, and we extrapolated the cost over a 12-month period, and the ROI makes sense then. To wrap it up, why we think that connecting for a smarter future is the key of retail, of retail? Well, because we believe in 4 elements. We believe that every project that we undertake has specifics in it, it's measurable, it's attainable in terms of targets. The results that we do are always, stuff that we do are always results-oriented. And every project has a clear time definition. This is what we believe. What we would encourage you, because we've tested all of these in Innobyte and we've seen that things can improve, is connect your researchers, your targets, your opportunities, all your departments working together, and you will see that next to the smart name, you will have plus ER. And what does ER mean? It means happier clients, easier to reach targets, smoother go-to-market processes, and faster business development. This being said, I say thank you. Thank you for waiting, for listening to me, and if you have questions, please go ahead.
Thanks, Alex. If you have any questions, if you are thinking a little bit, I was measuring one of my clients in the e-commerce stuff, some results, and what I can say to you is that looking at the very new clients, very new visitors coming from Facebook, no matter what kind of PPC or organic Facebook, the new visitors from Facebook doesn't convert at all. Not even one order. But the other one, the old, those clients, visitors, they are converting a lot. So the S-stores are not going well, but the S-commerce is okay. Do you have any experience with Facebook commerce, for example? Please, in the room. How many people have in this room some strong presence in Facebook as support for your e-commerce business? Do you have an e-commerce business at all? Please, raise your hand. Okay. Oh, okay. So you don't have one Facebook presence that is strong there?
What do you mean strong? Strong? What do you mean?
Strong means engaging users there. Strong. Could be, I don't know, 10% engaging users. Maybe it could be nice.
Oh,
for example.
I will keep my hand down.
Okay. 3% is okay also. So, if you have any questions for Alex, for his presentation, please. Or maybe we can take some one or two questions after. And now I want to introduce Mr. Stavros from Entersoft, which